today's video, we are going to create a data analyst or data science CV from absolute scratch, that also using the capabilities of ChatGPT. I am creating this video mainly considering two types of people. First are those who are fresher graduates and trying to land a job into analytics. And secondly, those experienced people who are trying to make a transition into analytics. So this video is going to be in two parts. In the first half, I will try to review the CV for one of my LinkedIn connection, and we will understand that what are the do's and don'ts while creating your CV. And in the second half, we are going to create a CV from absolutely scratch. So in case you are watching this video just for the second half where we are creating the CV, then you can skip this video to this particular timestamp. But still, I would suggest that you watch this video end to end to grab a 360-degree understanding around CV creation. And just one last thing before we get started, that is a generous request to drop a like below and subscribe to the channel if you are not yet subscribed. And also share this video with those who may find it useful. So as I said, we will start by reviewing a CV for one of my LinkedIn connection, and we will try to understand that what mistakes we need to avoid while creating our CV. And of course, I have manipulated the personal details of the student to keep him anonymous.
Okay, so this is the CV and I have manipulated most of the personal informations and details just because of the privacy related concerns. So you will see including the name, address, contact details, etc. Everything has been manipulated and all the details has been changed. But that is not our area of focus. Barring the personal details, let's try to analyze this CV from top to bottom to understand that what are the mistakes made by the candidate over here. Okay. So of course, on the top, you will be having your name. That is fine. A part of that, you will have a professional looking photo over here that the candidate already had, but I had to remove that to keep it anonymous. So this is why I'm using this cartoon photo over here. The contact details area is fine. You should have that on your CV. So it is okay. The education details as well has been mentioned okay. So I'm fine with that. Scrolling down to the CV, lots of certifications has been mentioned. So there is one certification related to data science, other one is in Python, then Python and SQL, then in advanced Excel, and then another certification in advanced Excel and final calculation something. First of all, you should be extremely careful of spelling mistakes on your CV because it will definitely not leave back a good impression. So you can see throughout this CV from top to bottom, you will see a lot of spelling mistakes starting from this over here, then this area, then over here, effective time management, then over here in the professional summary as well. These red underlines is actually not helping you to make your CV look good. So this is something that you need to be extremely careful about because when you're applying for a data science job and the recruiter is reviewing your profile, then after seeing so many red underlines, this will definitely not leave a good impression. Secondly, when you're mentioning so many certifications, it is good if you're mentioning that. If you have done the certifications and you have a strong grip on the skills, it is fine. But also keep in mind, if you have completed any module or course just to grab these certificates, just to have the certifications that you can show on your CV, it is also raising the bar of expectation from the recruiter. For instance, if you're saying that you have a certification in Intro to Data Science using Python and you have another certification in Python programming and SQL, then you are telling the recruiter that you have multiple certifications in SQL. Then you have multiple certification in advanced Excel. Then please expect advanced questions coming from the end of the recruiter. And let's say if you're someone who has learned the skills of Python, SQL or data science techniques by yourself. So you are a self-taught programmer and you have used the free resources like YouTube, web articles or other free websites in order to learn the skills, just the way I have done my preparation in data science. And you're mentioning this on your CV that all the skills that you know, starting from programming to other machine learning techniques and the entire data science, you have learned it with the help of self-study by yourself. In that case, it will leave a different type of impression on the recruiter. And then he is going to ask the questions accordingly. But on the other hand, if you are telling the recruiter that you have multiple certifications in advanced Excel, advanced Python, then the question as well coming from the other side will be on advanced level. So this is one thing that while mentioning your certifications, be careful that you should be ready for that kind of questions because you are raising the bar of the expectation. And secondly, I have said, be extremely careful of the spelling errors. Let's move forward to the other part where the candidate has mentioned his professional summary, and let's give it a careful read. He's saying, to work in an organization which provides me ample opportunities to enhance my skills and knowledge, along with contributing to the growth of the organization through my sincerity and hard work. Okay, so this is a kind of bio or summary people used to write 5 to 10 years back. Okay, but now you need to understand what exactly you should be writing within this area of bio or professional summary. You should be writing that what skills you know, what kind of projects you have done, and how much experience you have. Even if you are a fresher and you have been working on projects for, let's say, 18 months or 24 months, you should be writing that briefly in an efficient manner. Okay, so your idea or your mindset should be telling the recruiter that what you are bringing on the table for the organization. But on the other hand, over here, try to understand what the candidate is saying. Instead of telling that what he is bringing as a package to create value for the organization, all he is talking about that what he wants back from the organization. This is totally not a good idea. Okay, and going ahead within the same video, I'm also going to demonstrate and I'm going to build a CV from scratch where I will tell you that how to write this professional summary efficiently. So this is another thing, that instead of asking from the organization that what are you looking for, you should be telling that what you are bringing for the organization as a package, as a value. Okay, that is fine. Let's move towards the accomplishments. So the candidate has first prize in inter-college badminton competition, solo singing competition prize, then social media head, and then certification in designing and implementing a data science solution on Azure. Okay, so these are really good things. Okay, in fact, I do not have any of these accomplishments or achievements within my profile, so these are definitely good to have. But again, try to understand these 3 out of the 4 accomplishments. Is it going to help you anywhere to grab a data science job opening? Is it anywhere telling the recruiter that you are a good fit for a data scientist position? Not at all. Okay, I'm not trying to disrespect anyone, but this is definitely not helping you to grab a data scientist job role. The 4th point, which is mentioned about the certification in DP100 designing and implementation of data science solution on Azure. This is something which could be helpful, but again, if you are able to answer any question related to this pointer, only then you should be mentioning this kind of thing on your CV. Otherwise, this will backfire you. So in a nutshell, I don't think this entire accomplishment part is also helping the candidate to achieve what he is trying to do. Let's move forward to the skills part. So the candidate has good leadership skills, critical thinking and problem solving, quick learner, communication skills, financial skills, Microsoft Excel, data science as a whole. Okay. Then Azure, effective time management, where we need to do some spelling correction, and ability to work under pressure. Well, to be honest, these skills are good to have. A candidate should definitely have all these skills. But when you're explicitly mentioning all these things on your CV, then it looks like that you are using them as a filler. It looks like that you do not know Python, SQL, data wrangling, data cleaning, data visualization tools like Power BI or Tableau, or machine learning algorithms. And this is why you are using these things as a filler, like leadership skills, critical thinking, problem solving, quick learner. Okay, I'm not saying that these skills does not matter. One should definitely have these skills, including time management, quick learning. You should have all these things. But when you are mentioning all these within your skill area, and you are missing out on machine learning algorithm, data cleaning, data analyzing, then how could you expect to grab a data analyst or data science job role? I hope that it is making sense to you. Okay, let's move forward. So coming to the bottom, he has also mentioned some job experiences. Okay, one of the job experience is for only 1 month. The other one is somewhere around 7 to 8 months. Please note it that I have manipulated this area where the company name and location has been changed, but the duration and date has not been changed by me. Okay, and I don't think it is a good idea to mention any job experience in this way. Instead, if you're really willing to show your experience, then you should be changing it to projects column instead of explaining this as work history, and then mention these experiences as a project, not as duration. I think that will be a better approach. Okay, but by looking at this section over here, it is difficult to understand that what kind of work you have done within 6 to 7 months, or for instance 1 month over here. In fact, looking at this CV from top to bottom, you will not get any hint of what kind of project or work has been done within this time frame. So again, this area is something which is going to backfire you if you are mentioning your experience like this. And if we come down to the interests column, then I would never suggest that you mention more than 3 interests. Okay, because anyways this is not going to provide much weightage towards your selection. Okay, so you should be keeping it limited. If you are mentioning too many interests, then again it might look like that you are using them as a filler. Okay, so we have understood that what kind of mistakes one need to avoid when he is creating his CV, especially when you're trying to grab a job role within the field of analytics. Now let's go ahead and try to build a CV from absolutely scratch. And we are also gonna use the capabilities of ChatGPT to do that.
So as we have planned earlier, let's get started by creating our own CV from scratch.
So now I will quickly go to my address bar and I will type Novo Resume and then hit enter. So this is one of the websites that I've been using for past couple of years in order to create and modify my CV. But you don't necessarily have to use this particular site only. You can also use any other parallel site that can help you to create a good looking CV. The idea is to make you understand that how a good data scientist CV should look like. So I will go here and click on this sign in button, and then I will sign in with Google. After signing in, I will drop down like this, and you will have to choose from any of these templates. The template that you can see with a premium logo over here on the top, it denotes that in order to create a CV looking like that particular template, you will have to pay to Novo Resume. And this is something that I would not suggest at this moment. So instead, I will pick this one. This is free of cost. So I will click on create my resume, and this will give you a good looking template, but absolutely blank resume. So we are going to create a data scientist resume from absolute scratch. So first I will click over here, first and last name, and let's get started by modifying the basic details. So over here you will add your email address followed by your mobile number. Then you select a country and city for yourself. And then I will click on this social button, and this will give you the option to enter the link which can redirect you to your social media profiles like your portfolio website, your LinkedIn account, or your Instagram. I would suggest that if you have accounts on LinkedIn, GitHub, Stack Overflow, Medium, and Skype, then you can use all these accounts and enter the respective details over here. I don't think that there is a need of entering your Facebook or Instagram handle right here. So let's say I'm entering some dummy details. And once you are done entering all these details, then you need to click over here on account settings. So you need to enter here your first and last name. So I'm going to use my details only. Okay, done. So I think we are done filling up the basic details that we need. You can also consider showing your date of birth, because a lot of recruiters nowadays are asking for date of birth as well. So you can show this detail as well, and then I will hit on save. As you can see, we have some details on the CV. So we have our full name. A part of that, we have the social media handles and some basic information like telephone number, address, date of birth, etc. And now I would highly suggest that you add a profile picture over here. People would be very active and curious when it comes to adding a profile photo to their Facebook, Instagram, or WhatsApp account. But I don't know why they shy away when it comes to adding a photo to their CV. I highly suggest that you use a formal or at least semi-formal photograph on your CV. This really leaves a very good impression on the recruiter. So let me quickly set up a photograph over here. Okay, so this is the photo that I was able to find immediately on my local machine. I know this is neither formal nor semi-formal, but just to save the time, I'm using this one for now. And again suggesting you that you must use a photo which is either formal or semi-formal in nature. Please do not use a photograph of you eating paratha with Szechuan chutney. Of course, nobody would do that. Now let's go ahead and edit the professional title. So over here, I would suggest that you either mention data analyst or data scientist, either of the job roles that you're targeting. And I also see a lot of people mentioning aspiring data analyst or aspiring data scientist. Now I do not have any solid evidence or research to tell you that it would not be a good idea to add the aspiring term to your professional title. But what I think is when you're trying to mention your professional title as aspiring data analyst or aspiring data scientist, indirectly what you're trying to say is you have not yet become a data analyst or data scientist. In fact, you are looking for the opportunity that a company would trust on yourself and will hire you as a data analyst and data scientist. And believe me, companies are not looking for this. Companies are not there to do charity. Neither they are your relatives. So they will hire only those candidates who are able to convey themselves as a data analyst or a data scientist who has some solid evidence or proof of work or a good working experience to showcase. Again, I leave it to you if you want to use aspiring data analyst or only data analyst or data scientist. Now comes this part where we need to add a short and engaging pitch about ourselves, which means the bio or profile summary. And before proceeding further, let me tell you that I'm going to create this entire CV from the perspective of someone who is either a fresher, a college graduate who is trying to get a data analyst or data scientist job role, or someone who might be an experienced working professional but now trying to change the domain into analytics. Because I think these are the major two group of people who are following me on my YouTube channel or on my other social media handles. So I will try to create a bio or professional summary where I will try to showcase myself as a fresher graduate who has been practicing data science techniques for a while. So I will try to mention what skills I know, what type of projects I have been doing, and for how long I have been working and learning data science. So instead of taking the load and doing the heavy lifting, let's move towards the ChatGPT interface and take some help from the AI. So this is the first prompt that I'm passing on to ChatGPT, where I'm saying, I want you to act like a world-class data science mentor and help me building a CV from scratch. I'm a fresher graduate and I've been doing and working on more than 25 plus data science projects to sharpen my skills. Then I'm asking that write a short bio for me that I can mention at the top of my CV. And this is something that I have got back from ChatGPT, which says, as a recent graduate with a passion for data science, I have honed my skills by completing over 25 projects spanning a range of industries and applications. Excellent. Brilliant. Through hands-on experience on a rigorous study, I have developed a deep understanding of statistical analysis, machine learning, data visualization. So if you'll pay attention carefully, then it is not only saying that you are a fresher graduate and you are looking for an opportunity where the company will trust you and give you the chance to work for them as a data analyst or data scientist where you can learn and grow. In a nutshell, it is not demanding or asking for anything. In fact, it is saying that what skills and experience you are bringing in as a value for the company, even when you are a fresher graduate. So I will simply copy this entire thing and I'm going to paste it over here. Okay, we are good. I really do not want to include this last sentence on the bio, so I'm going to exclude this. I leave it to you. If you're comfortable with that, you can keep that as well, but I did not find that good enough, so I'm removing that part. Okay, so you can see the head of the CV looks really good and professional. Now let's move ahead, and now we come to the most important part of the CV where we are going to mention the work experience. Now you might wonder that if you are a fresher graduate and most probably someone who has not done any past internship or who is not holding any professional experience, then how exactly you can manipulate this thing? First thing I would suggest that you do not mention this as work experience. You need to mention this as personal projects or data science projects. So I will say personal projects. Alright. Secondly, on the title or position, you can mention, of course, data scientist, or you can also mention aspiring data scientist for this particular part. I leave that to you. And over here, at the workplace or company, you can mention Kaggle, or you can also mention if you have done any kind of internship or maybe hackathon, or my favorite, just to keep it simple, you keep it as GitHub projects. Please keep in mind that out of these four, keep only one or two. Most probably one. Keeping one would be a better idea. Depending upon your individual case, you try to think that would you like to keep it as an internship or a hackathon where you recently participated? For my case, I was mostly working on my GitHub projects. So back in time when I was chasing for my first data scientist job, I used to mention it only as GitHub projects. And then let's say that I want to mention this as an experience of last 18 months. So I would say from December 2021 till present date, I'm working on this. Okay, so this looks good so far. Now comes the part where we need to add projects. Now you might be someone, or you have to be someone who has worked on at least more than 25, 30 or 50 projects, and you have stored all the details of those projects to your GitHub account. However, when it comes to mentioning your projects on the CV, I would not suggest that you mention the details of more than 3 projects. So the question is, among all the 30, 40 or 50 projects, which project you would choose? And this is a really important question. And this completely depends on which domain or what job role you're applying to. So let's say if you're applying only to the finance domain like banks or credit card companies, in that case, I would suggest you that you mention top 3 finance domain projects from your portfolio. Similarly, if you are applying to a different domain like healthcare or agriculture, etc., then choose your projects accordingly. So let's suppose this profile that I'm creating, this particular CV, I'm trying to target a basic data scientist job which requires or wants you to have the basic machine learning, data analysis, data visualization, data cleaning, and statistics techniques, etc. So what I will do is I will mention one project from finance domain. I will mention other project where time series forecasting models has been used, and one project from NLP. Now here comes a challenge that you decided which project to pick from your portfolio to showcase on your CV. But a lot of people get confused that how to explain the projects on the CV itself. So again, without thinking much about it, let's go to ChatGPT and ask it straight away. So over here, I'm asking ChatGPT that on my CV, I want to mention top 3 projects that I have worked on. One of them is from finance domain, where I have done the credit card fraud detection. Other one is a time series forecasting model where I have analyzing real-time data and used complex Aremax and Serimax model. In case you are not aware of these models, these are few machine learning models that is widely used with time series forecasting. And the last one is an NLP project where I have done some sentiment analysis. And I want ChatGPT to write a description for each project with 4 to 5 bullet points that should talk about the data cleaning, feature engineering, pre-processing, and model accuracy, etc. Description should be brief and suitable for CV, because I do not want ChatGPT to write so much which becomes no longer compatible for my CV. And the response from ChatGPT is really, really good. So first, let me pick this one where it is mentioning about the credit card fraud detection. So I'm going to copy this entire thing, and within the task or achievements area, I will say it is a credit card fraud detection. And here, one by one, you need to paste the tasks that you've been doing here. So I will try to format it in a better way. So I will cut this one. Then on the next line, I will add another pointer. Again, I will cut it from here. Again, on the next line, I will add it here. And then again, I will cut the final point and then add it like this. If you will click outside, then you will find the project mentioned in this way. And this looks really good. Let me quickly add another project. So I will copy everything from here. This is about the time series forecasting model. So I will add another project by clicking on this add button. And then again, the same details like data scientist. Okay, so far the details are same. Title as data scientist from my GitHub projects. And this is the same experience. And this project is about time series forecasting model. If I click outside, it looks something like this. And then I will start adding the details. So whatever I have copied from ChatGPT, I will paste it here. And let's do some formatting over here. So I will cut it from here, then enter. Then next line here. Again, need to cut it from here. And that is it. You can see so far I have mentioned 2 projects. First is this credit card fraud detection. Second one is this one, time series forecasting model. And the last one we need to add is the NLP project description. So again, from the ChatGPT interface, I'm going to copy this entire thing from the sentiment analysis project. I will copy everything. Then I will add another section. So I will click here first. Then I will add another experience, keeping the details as same as data scientist. Company or workplace would be GitHub projects, because of course I'm a fresher with no experience. Experience, or the experience duration rather, would be same, because I'm trying to mention an experience of 18 months that I've been working on projects. And achievements or tasks, so it is going to be a sentiment analysis project from the NLP area of the data science. Now within this accomplishment or responsibility area, I'm going to paste the entire thing from ChatGPT. And of course, this does not have to mention within one particular pointer. So I will try to do some formatting. So we will go step by step, enter, again paste. Again, I will try to cut it from here. Again, enter, again paste. And again, I will cut it from this entire thing. Again, enter and paste. That is it. Okay, so it is giving me a warning that the length of my CV is exceeding more than 1 page. So if you try to create a CV of length more than a page on this website, it is going to charge you for that. So I'm going to click on understand, and what I'm going to do is I will try to reduce the size of this CV. So let's do one thing. I will try to compress these details like this. So you can either go by deleting any of these pointers, or you can try to merge them. Let's say if you can pick this one and you can try to merge it right here like this. So let's see if that works. Okay, it has helped me to reduce the length somehow, but not that much. I will cut it from here, then paste it right here. I will also adjust the other areas of the projects. So let me quickly do the thing. So I will cut this entire thing from here and will try to paste it right here. And again, taking it from here, I will paste it right here. And if I remove it, okay, so I was able to bring it back to length of page 1. So that is fine. So far, we have mentioned everything on the top of the CV, and we have also beautifully mentioned the project details of the top 3 projects. Now remember one thing. Whenever you're mentioning your project with the help of these pointers, first you need to have a clarity that you have done these things on the project. So if I'm saying that I have done the feature engineering such as seasonality and trend to improve the model accuracy, then you also need to have the clarity that what exactly these seasonality and trend actually means. Okay, so by no means I am saying that you try to mention any fake experience just by taking the suggestion from ChatGPT. Okay, I will mention only those things over here that I have actually done on my projects. If ChatGPT is telling me to mention something that I have actually not done on my project, or I'm actually not aware of that concept, I will not mention that on my CV, because that will backfire me at some point of time. So please do keep this thing in your mind when you are creating your CV. Let's go to the other part of the CV where we will try to mention the skills. I always suggest that first 3 skills on your data science or data analyst CV should be Python, SQL, and data analysis. So let's go by that. I will mention Python. I will say SQL. I will say data analysis. I will also say data visualization with the help of tools like, let's say, Power BI or Tableau, for instance, if you have the experience working with it. A part of that, of course, you need to know machine learning. Even if you're applying for a data analyst job role, I highly suggest that once you have mastered the basic skills, must move on to basic machine learning. I will also mention deep learning, then time series forecasting, and NLP technique as well. I also suggest that you try to mention at least one of the cloud platforms like AWS, Azure, or GCP. This is really important nowadays. So I will mention that accordingly. And this is it. I'm not saying that you keep the skill section limited to this. You can add much more, whatever skill set you have, including Docker, Kubernetes, computer vision, SaaS, Neural networks, whatever you know, you should be mentioning over here. But the idea is that you try to mention the core data science skills. In this section, if you are mentioning your abilities like time management or leadership skill, that might not be help you enough to land the job. So you can customize this skill section accordingly, going by your individual case. And now we will move on to the personal projects area. Since we have already mentioned the projects over here on the left hand side, I don't think that we need this section anymore. So I'm simply going to delete it, and I'll delete this part as well. Now comes the achievement area. So in terms of achievement, you can mention a lot of things, but I would suggest that you mention those particular achievements that tells a story of you becoming an efficient data scientist. I'll give you some examples over here. So I will say I am a self-taught programmer and learned all the data science techniques and algorithms myself. Additionally, you can also mention things like that I have worked on more than 40 end-to-end projects to master the data science concepts and enhance my experience. Something like this, okay? Additionally, if you have experience of helping your friend or others learning techniques like machine learning, or maybe you help someone to learn Python programming language or SQL, you can mention that thing as well over here. And by the way, if you're someone who is thinking or trying to figure out that how exactly you can complete end-to-end projects on your portfolio, then right before this particular video, I have published another video on my channel where I have created an end-to-end data science project from scratch with the help of ChatGPT and have explained all the details step by step that how you can do the same. So if you have not watched that video yet, and you want to have end-to-end projects within your portfolio, I highly suggest that you consider watching that video. I will try to add the link somewhere on your screen or within the description box. Please do check that out. Now we come to the languages section, which is not that crucial. You can simply mention your mother tongue and additionally English, which you should definitely have on your CV. So I would say English with full professional proficiency, and you can choose something else if you want, but I think it is fine to go with this one. Additionally, I will also keep my mother tongue, which is Hindi, keeping it as the best. I will add few interests over here, and I will definitely mention data science as the first thing as an area of interest. Part of that, books. If you are really interested towards reading books, maybe you're someone who is a traveler or a sports geek, or maybe you're someone who is into AI. That is it. It looks good. So from scratch, we have come so far, and this looks really good. We are only left with this education section, which I'm going to edit very quick. So study program, let's say I am a BCom graduate, and you can add the name of your college or institution over here. And this has been completed now. So that is it, guys. We created a data science CV from absolute scratch and also utilize the capabilities of ChatGPT. And now I hope that you got some understanding that how exactly you should go around creating a data scientist CV and what are the mistakes that you should try to avoid. Thank you very much. Okay, so that was it for today's video. I hope that you found it useful. If yes, then please don't forget to do the clicky stuff below. Show your support by subscribing to the channel and drop a like below. And also consider checking out other videos on the channel that you will find equally helpful. Thank you very much for watching till the end. You have a nice day ahead.